going on, Russell Wayne and the Main Event 365 Network? This is Jason Kabenda from the Detroit Lions. Here to give y'all a shout out, man. We appreciate all the support, man. I know you guys are big fans. Know that you guys are rooting for us to take the North this year, and we're going to do just that, man. Appreciate you guys so much. Just want to give y'all a shout out. Y'all have a great day.
Well, welcome one, welcome all. It's the Main Event 365. This is the phone sessions. My name is Russell Wayne, and welcome one, welcome all to the show. We are live on the Detroit Lions News Main Event 365 Facebook page. You can follow our page. This is right here is about the hardcore fan. I just realized this when I was going through yesterday's show, is that really casual fan has kind of, taken a high road, right? The casual fan is kind of done for the season. So if you're watching right now, I consider you a hardcore fan, because we're going into the meat and potatoes of the off season. And there was something that I really, really wanted to hit, especially for Lion fans out there, is I think that there's a misconception that the Lions have this awful defense because of the way they started last year. So throw your comments, questions, concerns into the chat right here. I think that the Lions could have a top 10 defense if certain things were to happen. And why would I feel like that? Because when you look at the Lions, it's like, wow, they had like the 31st ranked defense or something like that. I think they finished like 28th or something like that. If you actually know what that number is, go ahead and throw it in the comments. But the Lions played way better down the stretch. And why does that matter? Because last year they were the youngest team in the NFL. And when they started out the season, you could really see the growing pains. Like there was a lot of young players on that team, and they had to grow and they had to develop. Aaron Glenn they've invested a lot into the offense. Let's put it that way. They had an explosive offense, top 5 offense. There's nothing wrong with having an explosive offense. They've invested even more into the offense, but defensively, like down the stretch, that they played very well. They played well against the run. They got good at stopping the run. And the young pass rushers started coming into their own. And then you had guys like Romeo Okwara that came back and instantly made an impact. Now, Romeo Okwara, Charles Harris, let's have a little talk about those two guys. When we went into this draft season, it was all about, we need to get this pass rusher. We needed to get Will Anderson. We needed to get Tyree Wilson. That's all fine and dandy. I think that they would have helped the team. But our pass rushing room is loaded. We have I would say that the Lions have probably the deepest pass rushing room in the NFC North. Maybe you could argue something with the Green Bay Packers, but with the way that this team developed last year down the stretch, I mean, that was a rookie class. That was a rookie class of pass rushers that broke the NFL record in sacks. There's never been another rookie class that has had more sacks than last year's rookie class for the Detroit Lions. And now you're going to add Romeo Okwara and Charles Harris to that. So from a pass rushing standpoint, not only do we have great pass rushers, we have great depth behind the great pass rushers. I expect Hutchinson to take a huge leap next year. having an entire offseason program. He's been working on strength and becoming one of the best pass rushers in the league. I think he's going to take a leap. 6th-round draft pick, James Houston. Oh my gosh, where the hell did he come from? We knew a little bit something about him. We really love that pick, James Houston. The problem out of Jackson State. Coached up by Deion Sanders. He warned the NFL. So it don't matter that he's 150 pounds. This guy can rush the passer. I mean, he came in and had 8.5 sacks. And he didn't even come in until like week 10. So you got James Houston with 8.5 sacks. You got Aiden Hutchinson with 9.5 sacks. And then we didn't even forget about Josh Paschal. Well, Josh Paschal was injured for a big portion of last year. But when he came in, he made an impact. This is a pass rusher right here in Josh Paschal. He can rush the passer. But he does it from the inside on 3rd down. On 1st and 2nd down, this guy can set the edge. Very good against the run. I love that as a rotational type of guy. He can play inside, outside Josh Paschal. And then we throw this in there. Kenneth, right there. Romeo is a beast. Yes, you are right. Yes, I am right. Romeo is a beast. He had 10 sacks in 2021. And he was injured for a high ankle sprain ain't no joke. That ain't no, when you deal with anything with the lower leg, those are Achilles, all that stuff. That's hard to come back from. It took them over a year to come back from that. But when they did bring him back, he made an instant impact. The game he came back, he had 2 sacks. Romeo looks like he's coming right back to form, and he took a pay cut because he knows on this defensive line that he's going to be a rotational player. So Romeo can play inside and out. And so that's a good rotational player. And then Charles Harris, he comes back. Charles Harris, hey, Greg Rice. Yeah, Greg Rice, feel free, man. You can call in if you want. You got my number. You can call in on phone sessions. You're one of those guys that's got the home number. But for sure, I love Charles Harris was one of those second contract guys, right? Very similar to the situation with us trading Jeff Okudah to Atlanta. Well, Charles Harris was in Atlanta. They drafted him as a 1st-round draft pick. And some would call him a bust coming from it. But we gave him a second chance. He comes to the Lions, 2021, has 7 sacks. 7 sacks. Revitalizes his career. We sign him to a 2-year deal. And he gets injured. Well, he's going to be back. He took a pay cut as well. And these are 2 guys that like Romeo and Charles Harris are guys, and I'm live in NFC North group as well. So all you Packer fans and all you Bear fans and all you Viking fans can go ahead and listen to this. Charles Harris and Romeo Okwara would start on every team in the NFC North not named the Green Bay Packers. I'll give you that, Green Bay Packers. You do have some pass rushers who've invested a lot of high capital on pass rushers. I'll give you that. But for the Chicago Bears, oh my gosh, Romeo Okwara would start on the Chicago Bears. Charles Harris would start on the Chicago Bears. And now, since they got rid of Zadarius Smith, yeah, we like that. We love it when talent leaves. We love it when talent leaves the NFC North when it's not on the Detroit Lions. So, yes, we got rid of Zadarius Smith, which who's your pass rusher? Is Davenport your 1-year deal, Davenport? Is that who you got rushing the passer, Minnesota Vikings? Yeah, you'd love to have Romeo Okwara. Yeah, he's just coming off the bench for us, guys. So this is the defense that's ascending. You got a young defense. A young defense that's ascending. In that 8-2 stretch, they improved their points per game by over 10 points. So that defense you could obviously see that it started slowing down. You know, when your starting defense has Michael Brockers on it, who is no longer on this team, and all of a sudden in the middle of the season, you start making headway, and you wonder, you found your pieces, you found your guys. Your rookies like Hutchinson came in with Houston. They started making their strides. So I love the defensive line. The problem wasn't the defensive line last year I guess in the Carolina game. That was like a unicorn game. Our big men got destroyed on both sides of the ball in that game. But we won't go there. But for the most part, it was the secondary. Amani Oruwariye, oh my gosh. I was at that game with my son in Minnesota and watched him give up 5 pass interference plays in a row. And then they traded Jeff Okudah, who knows? Jeff Okudah might do well. He might do well. He might go down to Atlanta, revive his career. He doesn't have to be the number 1 there. That's cool. But those were the two of the mainstay. We counted on those guys as a 1 and 2, and they weren't that. That was definitely a sore spot. So what does Brad Holmes do? He's the cook. He was in the kitchen. He was cooking up some stuff. So he goes out and signs Cameron Sutton to a 3-year deal. This is a leader, locker room type of guy. This is a guy with an incredibly high football IQ. Probably going to be a coach someday. That's what I've heard from some people. James says with Q Williams that the Lions are a Super Bowl favorite. Love that. Love that call. Quinn and Williams. Should the Lions be on the horn? Should Brad be on the horn right now? Should Brad Holmes be on the horn with the Jets, offering up some draft capital for Quinn and Williams? Man, what's up, Rob? It's good to see you, man. I love seeing you in the chats. What's up, Alyssa? It's so amazing, Russell Wayne. You have to be talking about the Lions. You can't be talking about me. Maybe it's the scarf. I don't know. I don't know if I'd like the scarf, but I like that scarf. I thought about wearing it around my head like a bandana. And then Greg Rice. I love it. I love it. I love seeing you on here, man. But we're talking about Quinn and Williams, man. I mean, honestly, when you're talking about the Lions team, the team's deep. I mean, when you're talking about on both sides of the ball, we've got good to great starters, and then the depth behind it is very solid in every position, really. I mean, if you went from top to bottom, where were we at? We were on, we were on that Quinn and Williams. I had moved to cornerback, but James moved me to Quinn and Williams. I want to talk about that. Put your thoughts in the comment. Quinn and Williams. Gosh, that you throw him in the middle of that, of all that, you put him in that rotation with Aleem McNeil and now Broderick Martin, Isaiah Buggs. That's already a pretty deep room. I like our room without Quinn and Williams. I really do. But you always have that thought, be like, man, what if we could get Quinn and Williams? That would be good. What about the Aaron Donald? You think they might want to unload a salary? Oh, look at that. I start talking about defensive tackle. Oh, no. You there? Did I hang up on him? Hold on a second. Let me try to get him back. Hello. Let me try to get you hooked in here. Hello. I don't know. I can hear you. So I'm having a conversation, and it's not with myself, okay? I have main event Mike on the line, and I need you to tell me in the comments immediately if you can hear him. Ready, set, go. Mike, start saying something. Can you hear him? Can you hear Mike? They said we can. A Lions victory. Yes. Yes. They say that they can hear you. Main event, Mike. Welcome to the phone sessions. How are you doing? Well, I don't know. We were just talking about James was saying that Quinn Williams to the Lions would make us a Super Bowl favorite. So this has been out there, man. What do you think about like Brad Holmes trading some future draft capital to bring in Quinn Williams? Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't. Right. Oh, this is James. He's talking to you, Mike. Let me throw. It does. So let me. He has a rebuttal for you. So James says you can't double team anyone on the D line with Williams. He would be a constant mismatch somewhere, and that I gotta agree with you on that, James, because like I know it doesn't. I guess I gotta agree with both of you because it doesn't fit Brad Holmes' MO at all. That's not what he does. He doesn't just come and go grab a guy, trade future capital for a guy that he has to pay a lot right now. So I get that. But I also agree with James here is that puts us over the edge, right? I mean, that's you got a pass rushing defensive tackle. So I love that call out, and I'll allow you to respond to that, Mike. Right. Yeah, yeah. It's weird. I'm going live on two different streams that I think that we're able to be heard on one and not the other. I don't know. Greg says he can't hear us on the other one, but it sounds like James can right there. It makes Campbell's job a lot easier too. I mean, James is pulling for it. I love it, James, that you're pulling for some Quinn and we want to make this team as good as possible. But I do want to say that Brad Holmes did invest a 3rd round pick, actually traded a 4th and 5th round pick to trade up into the 3rd round to pick Broderick Martin, who is a 6'4", 330-pound dude. This is a dude. Like he ain't gonna get 12 sacks though, but he is going to eat up a couple of offensive players right off the bat and make Hutchinson's and Houston's job a lot easier. Oh, you said Jack Campbell. Okay, yeah, he does. Yeah, for sure. A good defensive line push definitely makes it definitely makes your linebacker jobs a lot easier, because then you're just really cleaning up, So I threw up the YouTube right there. That's the Main Event 365 YouTube. I'm also going to go ahead and throw that into the chat right there. So yeah, I would love to have Quinton Williams, or if they wanted to make that the same type of deal would work in the Aaron Donald situation. And in all honesty, I would rather have Aaron Donald, and not because he is older, but the contract and the bigness of the contract would be done in 2 years. So you'd have him, and then it'd be done. Like I don't want to get involved in this like 5-year deal with anybody at this point, when we're building with these guys that are on rookie contracts right now and everything. But you're not being heard on our YouTube for some reason. I don't know if this is a StreamYard thing, Mike. I don't want to do this to anybody. So I mean, okay. So we do want to figure this out. So J Mommy says that she can't. She can only hear me on the. She can only hear me on the YouTube version of it. So we can try that. Ask her to. Okay. So J Mommy, can you? We're having a conversation here. Go ahead, Mike. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. What? So Avery says that we've also added Jack Campbell, a run stopper from the inside. Avery, can you hear Main Event Mike as he is going to respond to that about adding Jack Campbell, known as a run stopper? Yeah, I love it. Yep, you can hear him. I can hear you guys on this one. Okay, so he can hear us. What are you watching us on? Okay, he's on the Detroit Lions news one, so it's not being heard through the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and end this broadcast over here. So if you can hear me right now on this stream, if you're looking at the main event, I'm going to open up the main event on this other broadcast in here because we can't hear my other guy. So I apologize.